I was born playing the drums, and my obviously drumming skills. I was fortunate to have a really good teacher locally, and as my career developed, I just did a bit of everything as you do when you're a musician, and I started to find out later on in life that I really wanted something a bit more structural, or a bit more with a band, so I could tour the world. The normal sort of dreamy gig that you've always wanted as a musician. And the gig never sort of came my way. I was very unlucky in the business, as far as I was in quite a few bands that unfortunately the record deals didn't transpire. We had management problems and so forth. And but I still ended up doing a lot of good work, and I ended up doing a lot of demonstration stuff for the cymbals and the drum companies that I play my instrument. And I happened to do a clinic up near Trevor's house, actually, the bass player, Trevor Boulder, up his house in his town called Hull. And he came along to the clinic and was very impressed with my playing, and we became mates. And I didn't actually speak to him for about 7 or 8 years after that. And then when poor Lee's health deteriorated, Trevor obviously was very impressed with my playing and recommended me for the band. And that's how it started, really.
It's interesting to see that you also teach music, don't you?
Well, yes, again, it's like... you know, because of I had such a great teacher, I read music, I can write music, and we've got some big music colleges over here in England, and in between touring and stuff, I don't do it so much now because I'm too busy with Uriah Heep, but in between touring I used to go down and teach at the music colleges, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of that, because obviously I can put across the real reality of the music business to the future drummers in those colleges, you see. So, and I love doing that as well. I like to give back and impart the realism of being a musician and a drummer and touring and recording and all those kinds of bits and pieces to all the up and coming musicians.
Because it may be glamorous to some degree, but it's a tough old life, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean the glamour is if you've got an award party to go to, or there's a bit of a party happening after a concert when you're on tour, and going on stage yourself, and then having interviews and TV interviews and magazine interviews and stuff like that. All this sort of the fame aspect and the glamour, as you say. But sitting at airports time and time, waiting 8 hours because your plane's been delayed, or 30 hours on a tour bus overnight, and then you've got another 2 interviews, and then you've got to do a TV thing and a record signing, and then rush your dinner down because you've got to do a sound check, and then do the gig, and then you've got to be up at 4 in the morning to get to another country. That is not the glamour part of it. But if it wasn't for the fantastic people all around the world who give us so much when we're playing, so we give them the music and they respond in such a great manner, which inspires you, that really is the golden secret to why we always do this.
And what about, the band's got a long history, a long back catalogue. Now, I know that a lot of the old hits have been reworked with the new lineup. What input do you have, Russell, to what actually is out there, and in terms of perhaps new music coming into the band?
Well, yeah, like with any band, if you have a new member come in, there's a new element there, and the chemistry changes a little. And the chemistry is the magic ingredient that really makes bands set aside from ordinary, average bands, really. That chemistry thing that can't be learned or anything. It's just the magic that happens between the members in the band. And when I came into the band, because I played completely different to Lee, which was what the intentions of the other members wanted, which was very fortunate for myself, of course, I'm able to bring in all the experiences of what I played over the years. I was schooled on jazz music. I've done reggae, I've done pop, I've done African, I've done the metal thing. So I'm able to bring in a lot more rhythmical choices to the band, which enables the band to write and not worry about if anyone can perform something or come up with new ideas. I'm always coming up with new ideas, which makes it easier for the guys to write music, and also put a different slant on it. All I do is when I... Like the track you played there, Lady in Black, was off the Celebration album, and all I did in the choruses there is I played a bit of an old New Orleans type of style drumming, like they did when people die out there. You got a bass drummer and a snare drummer. I brought that into the fold because I was with Chris Barber's Jazz and Blue Band for 5.5 years, a long time ago, and I had to learn how to play New Orleans jazz in then. And to me, it works great on the choruses of Lady in Black because it gives it a swing, and the guys liked it as well. So I can bring elements like that into the old stuff as well, and just put myself in the position of, if this song was just being written now, what kind of drum part would Russell Gilbrook come up with? And that's how I approach all the old classics. And lucky for me, the fans all over the world, they love it as well.
You also have helped design drums, haven't you? Now, tell me about that. Was it that you couldn't get whatever it was you wanted to drum the way you wanted to? What did you design and why?
Oh, no. Well, what's happened with the designing front is just that I've signed to a brand new drum company called the Tal, who are literally brand new. It's Marshall Amplification have bought them out. And they used to make the old percussion congas and percussion instruments years ago, and they've decided to have a go at making drum kits. They make very good drum kits, but like with all new companies, now and again you come across a few teething problems, of which, because of my experience touring over the world for so many years, I'm able to bring that to the table with the companies and work with the companies to try and rectify any problems that may occur, so that it helps their equipment not break or sound better. So basically, with all my experience, I can bring that to the companies, and along with them, we can work together to make a product that's very good. But the design thing, I've come up with a couple of ideas which I'm talking to Natal about, but nothing has developed. We're in prototype stages at the moment, so nothing has developed to where it's actually out there in the public eye at the moment. And
is it true you've been playing since you were 4 years old?
That's right, yeah. I had my first lesson when I was 4. I was earning £30 a week when I was 6. I was doing the shows in London when I was 12, and basically touring when I was a child. My dad used to have to take me, and I used to have to take time off school.
When you were 4, how did you reach all the drums?
Well, I didn't. I had to have a tiny little kit, so I had to have a 16-inch bass drum instead of a standard 22-inch, because my feet were so small. It was the only way I could sit on a seat and touch the pedals. So I had a very tiny old Premier Ajax kit, as I said, with 16-inch bass drums that I could reach it, and off I went.
So it's always been in your blood then, there's no doubt about that. Are your parents musical?
Yeah, my mum was a singer, but not professionally, and my dad was a semi-professional keyboard player, so obviously they understood music, but it was no getting away from me being a basher of the skins, I'm afraid. And so when they finally got fed up with me smashing the plastic dishes and spoons and everything at 4 years old, they decided to, well, give him a go with some lessons and see how he gets on. And I progressed rather quickly, and as I said, I was earning money when I was 6, and I used to do loads of top professional gigs when I was a child, so it wasn't a problem to me. And that's really why I don't get nervous, and why I gained so much experience very early on, because I was very fortunate to be out there and playing with people.
Well, you've been through, as you said, pretty well all the genre you could have gone through before arriving where you are at the moment. What about unfulfilled ambitions, Russell? Have you got any?
Unfulfilled ambitions? Well, I mean, I'd like to have a gold disc on the wall, but I'm afraid the music business has chosen to mess that one up for everybody, I'm afraid. So those days have gone, with the people buying as many CDs as they used to and stuff. But no, not really. I mean, Uriah Heep are having such a great time at the moment. You know, we're touring more than ever. We've opened up lots of territories that Uriah Heep had problems with a few years ago. So going back to Australia, Japan, and America, and then we're going to go to South America next year. China's on the cards. India's on the cards. It's a dream, I think, for any musician to be in such a fantastic band, and certainly for me to be in a legendary band like Uriah Heep, one of the first bands that started all this classic rock stuff off. That in itself is just an achievement. But to have a secondary go and tour so many countries, 56 countries now Uriah Heep have toured. We did 23 in 2011 in 1 year, which is quite amazing. I'm out there living the dream of being in a fantastic band to thousands of people who appreciate the music, and we thoroughly enjoy performing in front of all these people all over the world. I couldn't really ask for any more, really.